Castle Dimitrescu, the mansion where Alcina Dimitrescu lives in, one of the 4 lords of the local area where Resident Evil Village takes place in. She is probably one of the greatest female characters in the gaming industry. Resident Evil Village is the game that introduces Lady D as one of the antagonists, but unfortunately she dies early in the game, though this does not mean that there is not much secrets to be found about her. In this video, we'll be going over the origins of Alcina Dimitrescu and we'll discuss 20 facts and theories that you did not know. But at the end, if you find this video interesting, then you're probably gonna love my channel, so please consider dropping a like and subscribing. And don't forget to check my Discord server and Instagram account, links in the description. Without further hesitation, let's get into the video.
Oh, be careful what you wish for, Ethan Winters.
It's not mentioned directly, but Lady Dimitrescu was born sometime before the Great War. In 1958, when Alcina was 44, she was lowered by Mother Miranda beneath the local cemetery, where she was implanted with the Kadu parasite. Since Mother Miranda was trying to reborn Evie, she wanted to test Alcina Dimitrescu's viability, and that is how she became a candidate to become a host. The parasite, though, made Alcina mutate considerably, letting her regenerate at a high rate and have retractable claws, plus the ability to turn into a dragon and transform back again. And that is why, compared to Mr. X, Nemesis, and Jack Baker, you can barely make her stop, and the only thing you can do is to make her readjust her hat. She was almost gonna be the next Evie, but there was a problem. With all these incredible abilities, as a result, she needed a constant fresh human blood, and that is why she was rejected by Mother Miranda. At the end, she was killed by Ethan Winters, as he finds the Dagger of Death's flower. He stabs her in the side with the dagger. Suffering from the pain, Alcina tries to fight it, but this forces Alcina to transform into a winged, dragon-like creature, with Lady D being the weak spot. Now these were the things that the game tells the player directly. Now let's go one step deeper and see what was hidden in the game documents. It seems like Lady D had a passion in music, cause it's mentioned that she was a lead jazz singer, probably at 1930s. She went with the name Miss D in a band named Paul Boys. At some point after the mutation, Lady D did some experiments herself with the Kadu parasite. With the help of Mother Miranda, she implanted 3 corpses of women with the Kadu, which led to the creation of her daughters, Bella, Cassandra, and Daniela. This is also mentioned in full detail in a game document. As mentioned earlier, Lady Dimitrescu needs a constant supply of fresh blood to maintain her health, and that is why she used her maidens. And it is also mentioned how cruel they were in a game document, stating how one of the maidens was killed just because she opened the window. As you play the game and you get to kill the sisters, you notice that they are vulnerable to cold, but Lady D on the other hand is resistant to the cold weather and walks outside with ease, and she also kills some of the enemies for you. Mentioned by the art director, she was inspired by Elizabeth Bathory, a blood-drinking serial killer who used to bath in her victims' blood. And her design was also inspired by Hachishaku-sama, a Japanese horror story who's 8 feet tall, and 8 feet tall is the definition of her name. And this Japanese character kidnaps children. Though not mentioned directly, Alcina Dimitrescu is a wine exporter, and the name was Virgin's Blood. As she became mutated and she needed more blood, she decided to mix blood with grape. Before Resident Evil Village was released, a demo came out, which took place long before the events of Resident Evil Village. In the demo, you play as one of the Lady Dimitrescu's maidens who is trying to escape, but is killed by Lady D later on. In Castle Dimitrescu, Lady D and her daughters killed all their staff to drain their blood and forced them to protect Rose as an additional support after Mother Miranda gave a flask of Rose to Alcina. And this explains the zombies and enemies down in the dungeons. Since the past 70 years, Lady Dimitrescu and her daughters have been trying to lure women to the castle to use their blood and flesh. And this is why every enemy in the dungeons is most probably women who were mold. And if you were wondering what happens to men, their blood is consumed and they become scarecrows who are scattered around the village outside of the castle. As mentioned earlier, she needs a constant supply of fresh blood, which does not necessarily mean she's a vampire. In fact, her need of blood and flesh is a result of her mutation, and the reason why she was considered a failure by Mother Miranda. Maggie Robertson is a screen director from Washington, D.C., who has also appeared in a few screen projects. She voice acted as Lady Dimitrescu, but one thing that most of people don't know is that she also did the motion capture for Lady Dimitrescu, and it is worth mentioning that this was her first major gaming role, and with no doubt she nailed it, and this role actually made her quite popular. As seen in the first cutscenes, Lady Dimitrescu sees herself in much higher class compared to other lords because she believes that she's the most beautiful and wealthiest. And she has not killed the other lords yet only because Mother Miranda forbids it. Just like Mr. X, Nemesis and Jack Baker, Lady Dimitrescu only patrols some certain parts and will not enter places like the room that the Duke is in, the kitchen and the basement. Now before getting to the last one, let's take a look at 5 honorable mentions here. It's mentioned that Lady Dimitrescu's height is 290 cm, which equals 9.6 feet, with the hat and shoes, which is even taller than the tallest man in the world. She was probably born in 1914. In Lady Dimitrescu's room, you can see a pair of shoes that she does not use throughout the game, but apparently it is 2 times bigger than what a regular shoe size is. It is 44 cm long. Her first concept art was something really different from what we got. She was most probably gonna be in a normal human size, and instead of having retractable claws, she had some sort of big scissors. Unlike other stalker roles in the recent Resident Evil games, Lady Dimitrescu actually patrols the castle even when the player is not around. As the final fact, I would like to talk about the Dagger of Death's flower. It is mentioned that the blade is forged in the village during the medieval ages, and it was infused with several poisons to kill monsters, and Alcina hid this dagger in a coffin due to it being very dangerous to her. And that'll do it for 20 facts about Lady Dimitrescu. Let me know what you think about them. Do you know any facts that I didn't mention in this video? Make sure to comment them down below. And if you have come so far and enjoyed this video, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. We are almost at 1,500 subscribers and this is incredible. And don't forget to join my Discord server and follow my Instagram account. Links to both of them are in the description. And as always, thanks for watching.